Hey guys, Sean here. So, off day for VCT Shanghai, and the devs dropped a banger. They announced that patch 8.11 will be released on June 11th. Coincidence? And yeah, I'll just dive right into it. The agents listed in this image right here are the ones that have edits, and some of them are pretty game changing. So, let's dive in. Hi friends, Alice here. In patch 8.11, we're going to be making some updates to a few duelists and a controller. Since we know these changes may affect the way you play the game, we wanted to give you a preview of these changes so you have some time to look over and theorycraft before the next patch. For some context, this update is aimed to allow other duelists to compete with agents like Jett and RAZE that excel in taking space for their team through sheer speed and mobility. I mean, that's pretty obvious in pro play, and it's even trickled into ranked, where the majority of the duelists you see are Jett, RAZE. In ranked, you see a lot of REYNAs as well, but in pro play, I mean, those two... We have seen some Phoenix, some Neon, and Yorus have been popping off lately. But still, these two just, they are the breadwinners of the duelist category, without a doubt. Let's see. So these changes provide more ability for duelists to take space for their team. Ooh. And to be the tip of the spear through their own unique playstyles. So it says, please note, these are not the full 8.11 patch notes. Those will be going out on June 11th. These are just a preview of agent updates coming in that patch. It's very interesting. So these might not be all we get. All right, ISO. ISO is receiving strictly buffs this patch because he's underperforming across all skill brackets. So they're talking like Iron to Radiant to Pro Play. This guy is just underperforming everywhere. He's just flunking out. Leaning into increasing ISO's signature ability output is intended to make ISO more reliable at challenging contested spaces and winning opening duels by granting his shield immediately after channeling the ability. Oh shit, so you don't even need to get a kill. ISO's buff will also remain active, and orbs will still spawn should he lose his shield and secure a kill during double taps uptime. So like you pop the double tap at the start, you instantly get it, right? So say like you're running off of a barrier, right? So say like you're right here on this barrier. Theoretically, it sounds like you could just pop your double tap off barrier. It activates in some amount of small time. You can run out, you'll have it. And if you get that kill, you can get another one off the kill. All of the same mechanics look like they still exist here. The difference being is that you can just get a double tap for free at the start of the round, which seems OP. It seems pretty nice. I mean, imagine doing something like this. You use your double tap and then you just insta ult. I mean, then you're in your ult with a shield. It now is probably one of the most powerful ults in the game, knowing that. Before you had to get the kill to do this. Now it's like the ult is just OP off rip. And it was already very strong, right? That makes ISO way better. But let's dive into it even more here. Double tap E, ISO now grants himself a shield upon finishing a 1 second animation, during which he can't use his gun. So 1 second seems like it's about long enough for you to take this engagement. It's like 1 second, that matters in like the mid round or the late round, right? If you were to say be like coming up to here and you pop your shield, you'll have to wait another minute or so for it to get activated. And thus you might, send a cue to the enemies that you're coming in, because you'll see this next part. This plays a shield forming sound at the end of the channel when the shield is activated. It doesn't give insight into how far this sound will travel, whether it's like 15 meters or 40 meters. We don't know. We have no idea, right? It doesn't really say anything like that, but it will definitely telegraph like a mid-round hit. So something like this, right? Like you're waiting here, you pop your shield. Imagine these two, which is very common, right? These two are playing like in this zone, and all of a sudden, you're getting stalled out. The Viper might just immediately like dump a molly like in the choke at that point because she hears this shit activated. So it's going to be tricky, right? Like with the sound thing, you might be needing to pop that like during the exec, like as it's going, because if you telegraph the hit, you're going to run into problems like this. Okay. Charges. We go from 2 double taps to 1, right? That makes total sense. I mean, it says strictly buffs. Dude, like you don't need 2 if you're getting that shit off rip, and you can recharge it with kills. So before it was like you had to guess your engagement timings. This makes things way easier. Kill reset added to the double tap. ISO gets a charge back if he gets 2 kills. As far as I'm aware, that's not saying that like the aim lab thing is reset, right? What they're saying with that is that if you get 2 kills, we run out, right? We get these 2 kills, boom, boom, like this. And we've already used our double tap off barrier, like we discussed, right? So we get this kill, and at this point, we get another double tap. That's not insta activated. So we could still shoot the aim labs and get the shield, which will last 12 seconds, I believe. But we now have this like in our reserve tank, similar to like if you were to get 2 kills on RAZE, you get more paint shells. ISO now receives a wall penetration tag instead of a standard heavy penetration tag when the shield is broken. This means he's slowed less upon his shield breaking. As someone that mained ISO for a bit, this will go over people's heads, but this was something I noticed. I noticed that when I had the shield activated, it was almost easier for certain people to kill me. Like it was like I would be moving and they would shoot me and I would just freeze and I would just die. Like I would just die right away. It was so easy to break the shield. It was so easy to just break my momentum and kill me. So this might fix a little bit of that. We'll see. Additionally, ISO now gets a damage indicator towards the direction of the enemy that broke the shield. That's pretty big, actually. Like, it's not like massive, but in chaotic scenarios or if you get like fade ulted or something, you know, like that, it's a light buff. It's definitely a light buff. ISO can now recast double tap while it's active to refresh the duration of the shield. Okay, so this is our scenario. We run out like this, right? We get these 2 kills. We shoot the aim lab little thingy in the sky. We shoot it, right? So we get our shield back. We have it on us, right? We have it on us. We have it on us. These guys are dead. They're gone. They're long gone. Well, now we have this in our back pocket. So as the time frame from the aim labs things that we got off these 2 players is going away, which is 12 seconds, we have this in our back pocket. And what that passionate saying is we could pop this and continue it for another 12 seconds. Let's see. Refresh the duration. So refresh the duration. That doesn't mean stack the duration, right? Refresh sounds like it's going to go back to 12 seconds. It's not going to say you get that kill and you get both those kills. You have another double tap in your tank. You can't just instantly pop it and have 24 seconds of double tap, I'm pretty sure. But we'll see. This is relevant if he gets a refresh charge from his double tap from getting... Okay, yeah, I just said what I said. Overall, these are very good buffs, and I don't know if we'll see him in pro play, but certainly we'll see him more in ranked. I think this makes him great in ranked. To be honest, I think it makes him good in pro play too. But I already thought like he was viable because of the ult, taking people out of the round. At worst, getting you into 4-on-4s if you use it correctly. I think now, with these changes, dude, I don't see how a team like PaperX doesn't like get enticed by this, you know? But we'll see. There's so many opportunity costs when you pick ISO. That's the problem. Neon. We want to sharpen Neon as an agent who excels at taking mobile fights directly to her opponents by buffing the unique value she brings to the table. We've made her slide more effective at sliding directly into opponents by making it more combat ready and by removing all weapon movement error when sliding, as well as a few other changes. The updates to her fast lane are intended to make fights around her wall dropping feel more intuitive for Neon's allies, while reducing the visual noise it creates in the game. Sharpening her relay to be a more premium and reliable one-charge ability is intended to allow Neon to have more success when she does decide to commit to a fight with her slide, as well as make some room for the second slide charge. What does this mean? Sharpening her relay. What does that mean? Sharpening. I feel like this is just word salad to make it seem like taking one away from you is not a bad thing, when in actuality they just took one away. What does that mean, sharpening? Anyway, fast lane. Now, so fast lane dissipates from behind to minimize visual noise in combat space while giving cover for Neon. Ooh. Fast lane's audio has been updated to travel with the fade out of the wall. The duration went from 6 seconds to 4 seconds. The wall dissolve duration went from 1 second to 2 seconds. I'm guessing like the 2 seconds added to the 4 will make it feel like nothing has changed. This is something we've seen a lot. We've seen teams do like this wall combined with the stun off of the ceiling right here that bounces down. So it looks like this, right? I swear it's not what it looks like. But yeah, so like neons will come out with this and occupy this ground. From the sounds of this update, the wall will start to dissipate back here and then make its way to the top, right? This part will happen at the very end. And thus, what ends up happening is your teammates will start getting fights like as the wall progresses. So instead of everything falling all at once, you have teammates that can actually play off of you and actually use this wall without full committing, right? They don't have to full commit through it to take a fight along it. Now they can maybe wait and still use the edges of, say, like this side of the wall, but yet they're taking the fights as this side's falling. It's something that will require a very high skill ceiling at the pro level, but I'm super excited to see it. Like, pros are going to look insane with that mechanic. High gear. This is just her sprint, right? So like how they just make that a bullet sprint. Neon no longer has her strafe speed reduced while sprinting. Interesting. Max sprint speed while moving sideways was 6.73 meters per second and is now 9.11 meters per second. Interesting. I don't know if that means like she can just immediately pop that shit and just be like jiggling like back and forth. So like here, right? What if Neon was playing here, right? And Neon was using her high gear, and like, what does a jiggle look like when you're just like jiggling? Can you make it go faster, or do you actually have to be like full sprinting and like kind of like moving quickly in circles or something like that? It sounds pretty nice. Neon always felt very clunky to me because of this mechanic, like this mechanic where it felt like you didn't have the same control over your agent as some of the other characters. It felt like the physics of the game were way, way different when moving horizontally. I like the feeling of this change most likely when you're playing Neon, but holy shit, it might cause for some crazy like engagements where Neon is heavily favored, but we'll see. Time until fuel regen went from 60 seconds to 20. Bruh. She went from a sprinter to a marathon runner. She's never going to stop running now. I don't know how she's going to run out of speed. Dude, she'll just walk to shoot for a second and just start running again. All right. Slide charges increase from 1 to 2. That's pretty crazy, dude. Like, honestly, that's pretty crazy. Neon now removes all weapon movement error when sliding. This effectively means she's more accurate while sliding. What the fuck? Second slide costs 150 credits. Equips out of the slide went from fast to instant. So you're instantly equipping your shit out of a slide. Slide equip buffer, 0.2 seconds. So after sliding, there's a 0.2 seconds before her gun comes out. Like, that's just like part of the animation. Relay bolt. Okay, here's the changes to relay bolt that we were looking for. Okay. Charges went from 2 to 1. Wind up delay is quicker now, so you can almost use it like reactively. Before, it felt like someone was pushing you, you would neon stun the ground, and there was times where they would kill you before that stun hit them. Or they could do a lot before that stun hit them, and they could kill you when they were stunned because they were in a decent situation. Concussed duration went from 3 seconds to 3.5 seconds. Not too insane, but it is a long time. Like 3.5 seconds is a long time to be stunned, especially when someone's speeding that quick to close the space. Man, 2 slides though, it's kind of wild. We see a lot of teams do weird combos like Yoru Flash, Sova Dart, like in this zone or this zone, right? Off barrier, so that way you can get control of it A main. You might see stuff like, dude, you could literally see shit like Neon taking ridiculous space and then like sliding across. Like you could take this quick, and if someone sees you, like someone's close in this zone, you could definitely like have a KO here and just flash for this Neon, and they could get the kill on a second slide. You know, like the second slide, it allows you to use the first one for stuff like this, right? Just to put the enemies in a terrible situation And then you can use the second one to actually frag out. You can shoot effectively when you're sliding. You know, she has more accuracy when sliding. She gets 2 of them. She can run all the time. I'm thinking of neons that like jump off this, boom, 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 like jump off the box, like around, just zooming around everywhere. But if they're accurate while sliding, there's gonna be like stinger buys and judge buys that just feel disgusting on this agent. Like this agent will destroy people with like shit guns. People are so concerned right now about like the Vandal and Phantom accuracy during the slide. And I think the discussion should be around the shit guns during the slide, but we'll see. REYNA is receiving both buffs and nerfs in this patch to reshape the power of her kit. The goal of the changes is to reduce the level of dominance she can achieve in ranked, especially at low and mid ranks when outperforming her enemies while pushing some of her value in coordinated settings. Healing has proven very strong statistically in ranked, with higher impact at low and mid ranks. This change should reduce her ability to snowball round over round in these settings. Removing the time restrictions on her Devourer and Empress should allow you more flexibility to play at your team's pace and increase the baseline value of both in coordinated play where rounds play out slower. Dismiss has been retuned to provide a greater movement speed boost, but has shorter duration. This should reward decisive and skillful REYNA players by unlocking faster and more powerful combat positioning. Oh my god, the healing. The healing decreased from 100 to 50. Oh shit. Full heal time reduced from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. So slight nerf because this is halved, whereas this is not halved. So you're actually healing at a slightly slower pace. Overheal of armor no longer decays after a timer. Oh, that's kind of big, actually. A lot of times in ranks, some people would wait the overheal out, so that's no longer a thing. I mean, without it being 150, though, it's not like huge, I guess. This alone might make it so that way, like, REYNA's effectiveness on pistol isn't as powerful, because she might take some damage during the first engagement, and she went from potentially having like 150 after that first engagement, like every time, to now having like, you know, still being in one-shot headshot range on pistol. Empress no longer has a timer and is permanent until REYNA is killed. Dude, I thought this should have been in here since the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, like this definitely should have been in REYNA's kit since the beginning. Decent changes to REYNA. I still think she's gonna be seen a lot in ranked. I actually think with these changes, like ISO is looking like a competitor to REYNA, like potentially better. Pound for pound, ISO might be better than REYNA right now. RAZE. As we've seen you get better and better at RAZE's satchel mobility, we've found that her total speed and movement potential can undermine the tactical loop. What the f is that? What is the tactical loop? Plan, execute, intel. All right. The devs have figured it out. Anyway, these changes are intended to allow you to more reasonably counterplay RAZE, whether through your own utility or gunplay. While we still want to maintain the sandbox movement fantasy of RAZE's satchels, she should not be as surprising when not supported by allied utility. Blastback. RAZE's satchels no longer explode for damage / knockback upon opponent destruction. Ooh. Lotus is a good example. You'll see it a lot in this zone because you'll see a lot of like setups by KJ for the run-in, like some shit like this with like nanos, one at main probably and like one here. And you'll see RAZEs do shit like come over here and just drop a satchel right here. And what they're saying is that satchels no longer explode for damage knockback upon opponent destruction. So if you shoot them at any time frame, your util will be safe. At very least, your util is safe. Like RAZEs can't just break everything every round. Because what you're seeing in pro play is shit like this. Like RAZEs coming over here and doing... Well, you might see them actually like come open the door or go front B, throw a satchel like over here to like break potential alarm bot there if they sense the alarm bot's there. If they sense the turret's over here, they'll break the turret. They'll come over here, they'll satchel like this. If they hear like the turret over there, it's annoying. It's really annoying because RAZE just washes out util with the killjoy and then ends up having more util at the end. Like she has a better kit than killjoy. It's just like you go through the cycle every round. RAZE's horizontal velocity when satcheling has been slowed. That means like the people that like fly through the air. So like the people that technically are like double satcheling something like this, where you're like looping around this bend, that doesn't seem like it's going to be very possible, or like it's going to feel like really weird because that involves a lot of like curving in the air, and it sounds like it's going to feel like old Neon. They just switched it up. All right. Satchel explosion audio has been updated to be audible farther away to ensure enemies can hear the first satchel when a RAZE double satchels. So you know where a RAZE is, like across the map. Oftentimes teams in pro play will react based on this RAZE. So say like you're playing retake on A and the RAZE satchels out, but yet you hear it from like over here. That gives you a lot of intel, especially if you don't see this person exactly. So kind of big. CLOVE. While we're excited with how CLOVE has been immediately relevant in ranked, it's actually true, it's so relevant, and how much you're enjoying playing them, their performance in ranked play is stronger than we'd like. We're trimming some extraneous power from their selfish, duelist-oriented outputs while preserving the controller-leaning power in their kit. Pick me up, see? So the cost went from 100 to 200. This is like the heal shit. Duration went from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. Damn, I didn't even think that ability was that strong. I'm not gonna lie. Damaging assist, time to activate. Oh, so before you had 10 seconds to activate the heal, now you only have 6. Dude, they nerfed it across the board. Wow, the cost, the duration, and the time to activate all took nerfs. So they nerfed the heal, everything else the same, and then they nerfed the ult, not dead yet. Cost went from 7 to 8. Unequip delay. I guess that means when you pull out a gun, it goes from 0.7 seconds to 0.8. That's not a huge change. I don't think many people will notice a significant change here. Oftentimes, cloves shouldn't be rezzing themselves in those situations anyway, so I'm kind of down with this change. Even though I don't think CLOVE is such a broken agent where, you know, they must be picked like every game. I think they're picked in ranked because CLOVE is just such an easy agent that's fun to play. These nerfs definitely will hurt the pick rate of CLOVE in pro play, where they were already hardly picked at all. So yikes. I don't know what that means for pro play. Maybe as CLOVE is played more in ranked, people become more familiar with the agent. We'll see them more in pro play. I have no idea, right? Like, it's hard to predict something like that. You would imagine if like a large percentage of people are playing CLOVE in ranked, there's going to be people that get insane on them, like insanely good on CLOVE. So much so that the opportunity cost of picking Omen versus, you know, that specific person's CLOVE just is like kind of like a wash. We haven't reached that yet, but I think we're going to be getting there because people are grinding CLOVE like in ranked. We'll see. We'll see how that all plays out. But right now, it looks like the other controllers are still stronger. Overall, I think the changes are nice, kind of coming full circle here. How can we rate this? We'll give like a single thumbs up for ISO, right? Single thumbs up. This is a pretty big buff in my eyes, and it should push him to be played a lot more in ranked, and we should see him in pro play finally. I know there's been like a match here or there, but this should kind of bust open the doors. It might take some time for teams to incorporate them into a comp, but you know, it'll be figured out. It'll be figured out. Neon, this is a 2 thumbs up type shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I think Neon is potentially the strongest duelist in the game after these buffs. I'm trying not to be too reactionary because sometimes it is easy to get reactionary with these buffs. But I'm thinking back to like watching Fracture and watching like Asuna play Neon and just the control. Losing the second stun is quite important. I'm not gonna lie, but the extra slide to like get out is almost just as valuable, right? And some of these changes to the wall will help attack hits. I don't know. I truly think we're going to see a lot more Neons. With that said, you have to look at the map pool also when you make a prediction like this. So we have Lotus. I'm going to say, yeah, fucking viable, right? So let's just go yes. Ascent. I'm going to say no. I don't know. Can I see it? I can see it. I can definitely see it. That's why I'm struggling right now. I like you could really people up with the stun in this map, but I just haven't seen it enough to know that it's gonna be better than a jet. Like a jet op on Ascent is really Good. So I'll put a question mark here, right? Bind. I'm going to say no. I have seen Neons run here. Zeta used a Neon here. And I've seen some other teams use a Neon on Bind too. The stun has a lot of potential. But it's one of those maps where, like, I don't think Neon can challenge Yoru or RAZE. Even with the nerfs to RAZE, I still think RAZE is, like, the best duelist here. And Yoru might be the second best. And I don't even know if Neon would be the third best. Like, I would have to really think that through. Breeze, I think this is possible. She used to play here, and she could go back to playing here. Icebox, it's so weird because in Icebox in ranked, like, Neons are pretty crazy, and the movement potential is insane, but it's not like that in pro play. It's hard to get that movement off. It's very risky to be, like, jumping around on top of shit, you know? And it looks cool, but in actuality, I don't think that Neon is the pick here. This could be a big off read by me. Don't get me, like, this could be a really off call by me because Neon is very good in rank. The stuns would be super good in the close quarters of Icebox. The wall has potential on a map like Icebox. Like, I see it. I definitely see it. The sprint to get back and forth across spawn, but I still don't like it. Like, there's not enough room to slide when you're away from B. And because of that, I'm going to say no in pro play, but in ranked, it's fine. Split, yes. I think Neon can be run here. Oh, but we're losing Split. Wait, we're losing Breeze too. Oh, wow. She's losing 2 maps, actually. Sunset, yes, she can be used here. Mini Boot proved it to me. And then our 7th map, which we don't know, right? While it seems like this Neon buff is huge, and it is huge, don't get me wrong, you can see how the map pool prevents Neon from being super busted right now. You know, like, it's not like she's going to be some insane pick across every single map in pro play. I don't think we'll see that. Let's be careful with the overreactions here, because even on these maps, it's still not, like, blatantly obvious that you must pick Neon, right? There's going to be other playstyles that are possible, and it'll be very interesting to see, you know, what teams cook up on these maps. I really do think it's possible here, especially with what Zeta Division used to do, and I think it's possible here too, but it would take the right team and the right comp. That's it. That's a big patch, guys. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. What agent are you most excited about in this new patch? Do you guys think we're missing anything here? Like, would you have liked to see buffs to Phoenix? Would you have liked to see more nerfs come into Jet? More nerfs come into RAZE? Like, honestly, I thought RAZE might have gotten nerfed harder. I thought she got away kind of nice, low-key. She got away kind of nice from these nerfs. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm really curious about it. And yeah, see you guys for Shanghai soon. Peace.